You could make your own trail through the woods. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Close encounter. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your action. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
That's a Myriad tribe outpost. Is thankful the Western World Eater didn't crush you. Says you'll see each other later. This day is as good as it's going to get. feel that sunshine. Now that's loot. There are places up ahead far worse than this. Finders keepers. Pick your path carefully by whatever you can see. Gizmo will always make time for you. But hope isn't lost. Yet. Figures things must be bad if you're out in the dark like this. Says you should take care. Gizmo will always make time for you. Says you're welcome back. There are tough times ahead, no matter where you go. A shopperia. Maybe there's something still inside. The deep cut. Ouch! This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts. Asks you to do the right thing. Is grateful you chose that.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would.
Right, not better.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
Stories only survive if someone is listening. Seems that the knobs need to be aligned so the device can load its program. You need to align the knobs so that they match. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a... Good ride, Long. Tell it, no biting. Some rubber scrap got uncovered over there. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Best part of this ride is it runs on green stuff. Toxanol built a lot of bang shelters in the back then, and this one is 7F. Can't stop to wonder if that means something special. You'd think this place would be crawling with worms. This is called suburbia, a place to get away from the city stink. Squeeze up and then down. Get the rhythm right. You snap that off, feeling pumped up. Finish 'em. Well placed. The day almost makes you want to smile. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. The yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. The sun's a long ways away. Nice. Some barked wood scrap for you. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate.
The water.
He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. He says you really need to go see Goop as soon as possible. He wonders what's on your mind. Says you're welcome back. No escaping the rain if you've got to be out. Sometimes your mind creates an illusion where it's possible to go back in time to to relive a moment in your life. We all have things in our past we wish hadn't happened, and can come to remember seeing and doing things that never happened. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Choose the automaton functionality you want to recall. I was wondering when you'd recall how to spring the automaton air gliders. Even more facts in that big brain. The night feels dangerous and exciting. That's an aurora totem. Legend has it that activating the 4 of them together will form a band of your aura in the sky. Old bric-bracs like that, sometimes still full of good things. Ooh, you get used to the beastly smell, I hear. You should pay the Pichu tribe a visit before it's too late. Says you'll meet again. This one seems to has heard that asks you to do the right, is grateful you chose.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush in?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Pah! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!
Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. The bright time creatures are getting up. That was the first Aurora totem. 3 to go. some wood scrap. Always happy to find that. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. That's a Terra Globe. You need to swivel the globus's bearings to get the Atlas mapper to work. Metal scrap. Great for making tough things. In the face. Maxed out on energy. Hurts a lot. There are some gorgeous colors returning to the world. Here is Knack Hill, the patch that Pebble calls home. See Seems wowed that you made it all the way up here to wherever he happens to be. Says he's not quite sure. He just wanted to climb, but now he seems to be stuck. He's bowled over by how you managed to find him. Someone who could do that could go just about anywhere. You seem solid, hard to crack, and always climbing higher. What could stop someone like that? Wherever you're heading next, he hopes you keep strong and tough. You'll need it to get through all the horrors of the world that lie ahead, no matter which direction you go. Wants to know what you'd do if you made a mistake while trying to get someplace. Would you head back down and try again? Or would you try to continue on from where you were? Thinks he might just stay here forever instead. Says he's not sure he's happy about the world surviving. Means he's stuck here longer. Wonders why you tried to save the world. In the end, what's the difference? Curious about you working with the Myriad. Suppose that's great if there's something worth seeing. Let's talk about happier things. He says it's rare, but sometimes he gets caught between a rock and a hard place. There's no worse spot to be in, and he's always felt insignificant, like a pebble to a mountain. That's why he realizes that one who doesn't climb can't fall either. Figures he can't get out of here on his own. He's tried. Pebbles risking death by staying or leaving, so he won't stop trying until he's able. He figures he just has to be more careful. He doesn't want to be a pebble in your shoe, thinks that would only seem fair. He's not in a position.